What's up, guys? Welcome to another chat with Kayo and Main Event, because we are about to preview with the UFC Bantamweight champion, Merab. First of all, Merab, we're about to preview the fight, but I want to let the Australian audience know, how do you say your last name properly? Because I'm really bad with names. How do you say your last name properly?
My last name is Dvalishvili.
Dvalishvili.
Yes.
Okay.
Dvalishvili.
Okay, well, Merab, mate, your fight this Sunday, it's live on Kayo and Main Event exclusively. How's the body feeling? How's the camp been heading into it?
I feel great. And like every training camp, I'm going through a little bit injuries, but I can't wait to make weight and get into the cage.
And it's a rematch against Petr Yan. Now, last fight, a lot of people talked about his striking is just on a whole other level, but your fitness and cardio and pressure was just too much for him to implement his game. And in the end, obviously, you won quite convincingly. First of all, take us back to that last fight. Were you surprised at how much it felt like, or looked at least like you dominated? How did you feel in the last fight?
Well, last fight was good, but the first thing is he wasn't respect me and he take me lightly. But the second thing is I was so mad about him, and because of his disrespect and he's just cockiness. I was over it, and and I mentioned before it's from Russia, from Georgia, and I was supposed to win this fight, and I was so mad. And after this fight, lots of things changed. I beat him, and I was cheering for him. Like every time he was fighting, I was like cheering to him. I want to him win, and now I kind of I'm not mad him anymore. But of course, I still have a big reasons to beat him. I am a champion. I have to defend my belt, and yeah, he's still same guy. And so yeah, we'll see how it's gonna affect. Like he's coming from loss against me. He after, like, of course I was the last like last opponent we lost against it, and I'm sure he will come more strong and more smart. And me, I have to keep up same energy and same mindset, and I have to be mad, and like I have to be like I have to be uh, uh yeah, very very smart.
Yeah. And you just mentioned Georgia and Russia. What is that relationship like? As Australians, obviously, we wouldn't know the details of it. What is that relationship like?
So Russia is our neighbor, and we are living next to each other, and we Georgians, we used to go Russia a lot, and the Russians always love to come our country because we have a good cuisine, like we have good food, and they love our food. Like so, like I will say, even Khachapuri and Khigali, every Russian loves this. Even our Georgian wine, it's a big in Russia. And anyway, but the politics, Russia has occupied 20% of Georgia's territory, and that's a very big beef, between Russia and Georgia. And then so up until they give us back this 20% of territory, we always will be, this beef will be between us, especially in sport, I will always make sure that every time I have a match against Russia, I have to win. And that's the thing, Of course, there is so many good people in Russia, and I don't have a problem with good people and stuff like this, but I have a problem with bad politicians and bad people, and that's the thing, Of course, yeah, that's it.
Do you feel that added, I guess, I mean, you deal with pressure so well, but do you feel the added pressure of the fact that you are fighting and representing your nation that you care so much about?
Yeah, there is a little bit pressure of this, of course, but not like a first time. The first time was like big pressure, like so big pressure. But like this time, no, I already beat him like most important fights, and now I like now like it's like now people realize it's a sport and everything can happen. One punch can, it can change everything. And I don't have like this big pressure, especially so I beat Peter when he was very cocky, he was disrespectful. Now he's respectful, and now it's just like a clean, it's like a sport now. Before, like, it was a little bit different situation. He was disrespecting me and my friend Aljamain Sterling, and stuff like this. But like, so now it's like more like a clear sport.
Is that something that you take a lot of happiness in or joy in like forcing someone to respect you? Almost like, you don't respect me, I'll make you respect me.
So we all MMA fighters, we all are very hard working people, and we have to be humble because how we training and how we live. We all humble. Because we all, first of all, we all get ass kicked in the gym. We have training partners and we do jujitsu, wrestling, kickboxing, sparring, and of course you can't win every round. Even you world champion, you get taken down, you get submit, you get humbled, and then that's how we getting better and better. Also, we are harder worker people, and we are working physically hard, and harder worker people are humble people, and but then I don't like when somebody or some people or some fighter, if they don't respect my hard work and what I done for this sport. And yeah, I'm mad because all I ask is just respect. We gotta fight, but if you beat me, God bless you. If I win, then yeah, we're gonna move forward. Uh, yeah, I don't like disrespect. Not only in fighting, just general. I know I respect all the hard working people, all the good people, and just generally, people. I respect every profession.
And heading into this fight, so the last fight, it was, basically his striking versus your pressure and wrestle. Now, it changed a little bit because your pressure was just so good. The funny thing is I'm sure his takedown defense has improved, but I'm also very sure that your striking has improved. Do you feel like you've improved more in your striking than he's improved in his takedown defense?
Absolutely, yeah. I can, if he stops my takedowns. Yeah, I have no problem with strike with him. He's a good striker, but I show again. I go like 8 rounds against Sean O'Malley. I go 5 rounds against Corey Sanhagan. 5 rounds against Umar. Nobody can do
Have you always been, what I admire about the way you fight is you do the hardest thing the best, and that is fitness. Being fit, in my opinion, is the hardest thing because you've got to do the hardest work to get there. Have you always prided yourself on your fitness, your cardio?
Um, like beginning, I haven't even know that I have good cardio. Now I use as a weapon my cardio. Like even when I sparring and then some guys try to take me down, try wrestling against me, and I'm laughing and I'm making eye contact with my coach because I know I'm gonna make them tired. I'm gonna make them guess them out, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna make them guess them out. Now I know what's my game and my what works for me and stuff like this. But beginning, I was bringing just chaos and whatever fight was going, I was just fighting. But now, like last couple of years, I know what's my style, and works very well for me.
And one of your the fights that I just honestly, it's one of the most incredible displays of mental toughness. It was your fight against, I think it's Moraes. Is apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. So he drops you, and it looks like the fight might be over, and then you get up and continue. It's one thing to get up and fight on. It's another thing to get up and push the pace and put pressure on him. Can you walk us through that fight because it was an incredible win?
Yeah. So when I was fighting against Marlon Moraes, I know he was a great striker, and it was another fight for me. And that time, people don't really know me much, and so anyway, so when I made weight and I watch his fight after I made day before. I watched his fights and I saw him. This guy hits really hard. I was. I got chills. So I know that I was gonna get hit bumps. Like maybe my mask broke my bones or something. But I was ready for war, and then when I go in, I started fighting, and I did take him down once, but I don't continue like wrestling because I knew he had like a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and I'm like, no, I don't want to risk, like any, I don't want to get caught on any submission anyway. And then I was like exchange punches with him, and then one of the exchange, he got me like with the left hook
Yeah.
and he dropped me, and I'm like, you motherfucker, you got me. And then like, so I tried fight back, but then he even dropped me second time. And that time I lose my memory like a first second. And I'm like, no way, I'm not losing this fight. And then when I get dropped and I came up, I get up, and he was keep coming to me. I duck hand and I run to other side to I wanted to recovery. And then when he came to fight again, I try strike back, but like because of the drop, because of the like knockdown, my streak wasn't back. I can't like I try strike, but like I cannot throw. My punch was slow and soft, and I finally grabbed him like a body lock or something. And then even that, when I grab him, I was still feeling the weakness. But I take my time and I try everything to take him down. Once I take him down, then I know that I was like up of him, controlling him. And yeah, so like yeah, he got me head out like a big, but like no, like I was just so ready for war and fight and win this fight. And yeah, I TKO him second round. And I mean,
Did that give you a lot of confidence? Because, I'm sure you were confident in your wrestle going into the UFC, and we'll get to the first two fights, but I'm sure you're confident in your wrestle, your judo, but to be able to finish one of the guys that was considered the best striker, did that give you a lot of confidence?
yes, of course, every fight in UFC, that was my sixth straight win in UFC, and I was happy. And of course, give me a little bit confident, but and then the happiness, because I love fighting in UFC, especially winning. But the thing is, I always learn from my mistakes. I learn a lot from this fight. I make mistake. I should like start wrestling from beginning, and I should I should know that my jiu-jitsu is more than I mean it's better than other guys. Like, and then I should I like now I should take him down, control, because when you try, it's like a risk. It's a risk. And even sometimes go standing and it'll give people a good fight. When it punches exchanges, you never know how they're gonna score, who they're gonna give the fight. So, but the one takedown can change everything. Once you take him down and control even 30 seconds, then you win the fight.
Mate, I want to take you back to coming from Georgia. First of all, in Australia, we've had a few champions, and we're a relatively small country, about 27 million. We're very proud because we are a small country that we have these champions. You have two champions out of a country with 3 million people. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, it makes me very proud. And yeah, Georgian, we are tough, strong people. And uh, yeah, we are warrior people, and we have many talents. And more champions and more great athletes will come from my country. And of course, every time a Georgian athlete doing good, especially in MMA, especially in UFC, I'm very proud. And I'm just also proud that I am one of champion from Georgia. And I will I will continue great work, hard work to uh, stay on top.
And mate, being from Georgia, so the Soviet Union falls, and I remember watching one of your documentaries talking about there was no money, there was no jobs, and you said everybody was gangster. You had to be gangster to protect your family. What did you do to protect your family growing up? How old were you? Did you have to do anything? Is that where you got your mental toughness from because it was such a hard life at that time?
Yeah, absolutely. When I watch my mom, how so okay. First, we was living in the village, and we was like a farmer's family. We used to have a cows, chickens, and we was working in our garden, and we was making our own vegetables, stuff like this. But then when we moved to capital city, I was 9 years old, and my mom was working, and my father he can't even find a job in Sikkim. And when I look how hard my mom was working, and my brothers were students, I have two older brothers, and I was just 9 year old and crazy kid, and yeah, and I was growing up in the street, and I get a lot of distraction. In the street, I was hanging out. You know, in the street, like doing bad things. Like just like 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 just kids. Outside in the street. Like I don't know everything. Yeah, and then it was, and then of course I was in the school, but school wasn't like when I look all the great teachers, they are professors, they all they did is they study and they are smart people, but they don't even get salary, they don't even get paid. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like these people work for free, but all the gangsters making money. And yeah, like yeah, like because yeah, like I said, if you want to protect your family, you have to be one of the a respectful gangster person, and that's what I was thinking to come maybe because like a lot of Georgian kids was thinking like this, and then but thank God like uh and then like things change after, and then we have like a normal country back, like with police, no corruption, and the people start working and people has a real job now and stuff like this. It's Georgia is really like no criminals now. It's very good for tourists and it's really beautiful, and a lot of things change. And yeah, so yeah, the from this life what I experienced, I get a lot of motivation. Yes, for sure.
If you could speak to your 9-year-old version of yourself now, would he believe that he's a champion of the world?
No, no, but when I was 9 year old, yeah, I know I was tough. I know I was something special. I know, I'm sure maybe every kid's dream to become famous or something special. And I always want to be something special, but like, I never thought that I could be best fighter in the world and to be world champion, UFC champion. Uh, but thank God I choose sport. I choose MMA because this uh, changed me as a person to make me harder worker person and make me humble and respect to other people and respect to other people's work too. And it's been great journey.
And would there be any advice? I think after one of your fights, I think you said something along the lines of always work hard. Is there any advice that you'd give to a young kid right now, whether it's a girl or a guy that might be getting distracted by things on the street or whatever? Is there any advice you'd give them to better their life?
Yeah, my advice will be work now and win later. You have to. I know the kids want to be special. They wanna, you know, they wanna lots of money. They wanna cars. They wanna maybe the boys. The boys we want ladies. They never like whatever. But everything. So first they have to work. They have to be specialists whatever they do, and after everything will come easy. Like now I live in my dream life. Of course there is no problem to have a nice car and house and the good things or the watches or whatever I want, and then I can help or support my close friends, family, like my village, my country, so and all good things comes after. So like I would say just now they're young. This is the time to grow up. This is the time to work. This is the time to build. Wherever they study or they work out, this work will pay off later.
And 4 title defenses in 1 year. Talking about working hard, that'll become you'll break a record there. Was this intentional, or you just love to fight?
Uh, so I love fighting, and that was the plan. And if I come champion, I want to be busy because when you're champion, you can ask UFC to keep me busy, and that's what the UFC is doing now. Thank God, they keep me busy, and so yeah, when you just regular fight, they just wait. If you get lucky, you get maybe 2 fights in a year, but if not, you have to sit and wait. And now, yeah, like I said, I'm a champion, and I can call the like fights, like stay busy.
Now, I want to ask you just one funny thing that I thought was hilarious. So you're fighting Henry Cejudo, and he's an Olympic wrestler. First of all, you're beating him in the wrestle, which is incredible. But then you look up and you're talking to Mark Zuckerberg, whilst also I think you gave Cejudo a little kiss on the back. Can you walk us through that moment?
Yes. So what happened was like so after first round I knew I was gonna win. I just had to bring the chaos and my style. At first round I was just trying to figure it out. But once I figured it out, then I knew that I was gonna win. And I kind of break in, and I think it was second round when I was trying to choke him, grab his neck, and Mark Zuckerberg called me that it's 30 seconds left, go for it. And then I looked here to him and I said, I don't think I can make him tough in 30 seconds and not enough time, but but I make him snore like, and he was gargling like, snoring because I was choking and he has a very small ear. And then I said, but I'm gonna have a fun in that round, I guess. I had this conversation with Mark Zuckerberg. He was, and then yeah, so and then yeah, end of the round, I kiss him shoulder, and but yeah, a lot of people don't saw this kiss. They don't understand. But that's why when I was in similar situation against Sean O'Malley and it was short time left, I give him big kisses like this because this way everybody saw the my kisses, and because I showed them like I like those guys, even my opponents, hit them father kiss.
Father kiss. Oh, and mate, before I let you go, obviously yourself and Ilia Topuria are champions. Have you had an opportunity to train together, or your camps are very separate? Because he's in Spain, I guess for quite a while he's been in Spain.
So last time we training together, actually, it was in Australia when his brother Alexander Topuria fought there. I was of course there. It was this year actually, beginning of this year, and yeah, and then we trained a couple times together. We wrestling like light sparring stuff like this. But of course, he's in Spain now. I am in US, and we used to training in Spain, Alicante. I visit him and his brother, and also every time he used to come here, Vegas, we got some rounds together. And now, like after my fight, I'm planning to go in Spain and spend some training and like some time with him, and we will training together and yeah, push each other and just having a great time together.
And before I let you go, mate, you've done some videos with the Kuraz brothers, JBK, on TikTok. How did that? Because like that went huge here. I mean, it went huge across the world, but in Australia, it was huge. How'd that all come about? Because it was hilarious, especially the running one.
Yeah. So, yeah, these Australian brothers, they always been cool, and yeah, we became friends, and yeah, so those videos actually like running one, and we did one in uh, Abu Dhabi, like I think, like yeah, they that was them idea, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Usually it's all my idea, you know.
Yeah.
But they came with this idea, and I said, let's do it. It's fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, they've been cool, and actually all the people I met from Australia, they've been super cool, and I thought about this. If I ever have to go any other country, next country will be Australia.
Oh, I like to hear that. I like to hear that. Now, just before I let you go, you've done some collaborations. Your Instagram is hilarious. Who's the one person you'd like to collaborate with that you haven't yet?
Maybe with Dana White.
Dana White, okay. Oh, mate, thank you so much for your time. You've been so generous, and I can't wait to watch you fight. It's on Main Event KO exclusively, and it's been incredible, mate. What a champion you are, and your fights are always entertaining. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.